welcome to another episode of Madge Unmuted. I am your host, Madge Madigan is my formal name by birth. And with me, as always, is Fitz from Rockbox Studios, my trusty producer.
What's your name after birth? I'm sorry, go ahead.
That was really gross.
Wasn't it? Wasn't it? I told you you didn't want me to talk. I was going to convince you that I shouldn't be talking this episode.
That's quite all right. You should. I enjoy that. I just hope our guest thinks it's okay. With us this week, we have a lovely actress and screenwriter, among many other things, but we'll let her tell us that. We have Bridgette Yaxley.
Hello.
Woo!
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you.
So, as I said, let's get right to the meat of the this what do we call this interview? So tell us what you do.
Yeah.
What is your title?
Yeah. So I'm an award-winning screenwriter. And
Oh yes, I left that out. Sorry.
No, that's my greatest passion is writing. I love to write. If I'm not teaching writing, I'm usually at home writing and thinking about my next, idea to script and or I'm writing a short story or something like that. So, yeah.
So what's your background? Like, did you study to get into?
Yeah, I was an English major at SUNY Brockport, and
we all know how good that English major is good for.
Yeah, I know. Well, it was accidental that I remember I loved studying at SUNY Brockport, but then when my advisor said to me I needed all these elective courses, Brockport has this tremendous wing of it's part of their umbrella, I guess, to have all these film courses there as well.
Right.
So I don't think they have a separate film department. They just house everything right there in the English department. So all of my elective classes back then were film, and so I just stumbled into it, and
that's cool.
Loved it. I took everything from sci-fi to film noir to history of film, and it became addicting. And I thought, oh my gosh, what is this? This is fantastic.
See, Fitzy, you didn't want to be brought in today, and right up your alley. So
yeah, I know, but I didn't want to take away from our lovely guest here.
No, I know you wouldn't, because you're really good with that. You're the consummate professional.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, not that you consummate your professionals, but you're consummate.
And I'm the one that's being gross. Touche, Madge. Touche.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I'm sorry. You have to bear with us.
I know Bridgette. She was kind enough to spend a day as an extra in our film, which she deserved a bigger part. But I didn't know her at the time until she showed up for the filming of Bottom Feeders. And actually, we used the scene that she's in. She's just off to the side talking to a student. And we used that scene in the music video that we just released. So there is a quick frame of Bridgette on the music video.
Cool.
Oh, thank you. And I love that because I will often teach. I'm a professor. I teach writing also at RIT and at Nazareth and college. And when I tell my students that I act and I'm also a screenwriter, that particular role, I've shared with my students my IMDb page, and when I tell them that I act and all of these different roles that I've played, that particular character was awesome because I was a professor in that role.
Yeah, you were playing yourself.
I was playing myself. I actually had
You didn't have to reach there.
I didn't. I actually had my roster with me, my real roster. and when the actor who was sitting next to me, he says to me, what do we talk about? And I said, I'll go through my current assignment with you.
So not only did the guy get a free lesson in filmmaking, but he also got a free lesson in screenwriting from an award-winning screenwriting professor.
He did.
Yay.
He did.
The things we do for this community,
Hercules.
I tell you.
I know. Well, let's not, we don't want to say what we were talking about with Tom Proietti last week with the, but I think we dispelled that with the those who can't teach.
Right. some who do can also teach.
Exactly.
That's true. Living proof here.
Yay!
But before I went to SUNY Brockport, people always ask me.
Are you from here?
I am. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was going to mention people always ask me what inspired you to write? Where did this come from? And it's really kind of a funny story because I grew up. I went to Byron Burgeon, and I feel really fortunate because I have this really funny story about this because I grew up in that generation where a lot of kids were, you're to be seen and not heard, and you were, and so when every time my
it was the shut the hell up generation.
Yeah, exactly, right. And I grew up in a very big family, and
us too.
Yeah, right. So whenever we would get together for holidays, for any holiday, Christmas, Easter, whatever it was, every week we were finding a reason to, eat and be merry. So, but we always would divide after we ate to digest and talk. And, so the men would always go in one part of the house or go outside and sit, and the women would go off and sit and drink tea and gossip. And I would walk around. I remember as a child walking around, very interested, and I would sit there and go, I'd listen and listen and listen. And because they knew I'm very visual and very observant, and I was and I was listening, and so the tales would get longer and longer, and to the point I know they were full of it. They were exaggerating, right? And
nah,
no, of course not. So,
wait, were there cocktails involved?
There may lots of cigars and pipes and all that, and I remember they were pulling on my braids, and joking around, and so my grandfather and my uncles and my father, and they would joke around and say, "Okay, time to run along." So then I would navigate into the kitchen, and where my grandmother and my aunts and my mother, and they would all be sitting there, just the ladies, like a bunch of cackling hens, just like whoa, 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 whoa. And all of a sudden they saw that look on my face because I knew what they were talking about, and I knew what. And when they realized I did, I would suddenly get that. And don't you repeat a word. Just eat your cookie and drink your your milk. But I always wanted my turn. I wanted to participate.
Oh, great. Yeah.
I wanted to know.
You had a story to share?
Yes.
Or are you wanted to participate? Or, yeah.
I was listening and going,
I just interrupted.
Wow. No.
Like I do now. No. I mean, way back then into the stories.
As a child, I did the same thing. And I kept saying, hey, guess what? And they're like, well, hold on. So when every single report card.
No,
I swear.
Oh, that's what I did. Never mind.
My father saved all. God bless him. He saved all of my report cards. They all say from every grade level in elementary school that I was an excellent student, but I talked too much. Right?
Shut this girl up. Somebody shut this girl up, please.
I have told that same anecdote several times.
And now I get paid to talk all day.
That's what I said. Like every one of my, I said this last time. Sorry if it's a repeat. I was like, I thought I was the worst kid in the world. I thought I was a delinquent. I thought I was evil. I thought I was whatever. And as I got older, I'm talking to people about your childhood, and they're like, yeah, and I skipped school, and I drank on lunch hour. I smoked pot at lunch hour. I smoked pot in the morning. I got
you still smoke pot before the show?
No, actually, I've never been a pot smoker. I don't care for smoke. But anyway, so I made up for it in booze. And I'm like, I never did any of that. All I did was I couldn't shut up.
Me too. I couldn't stop talking. Mm-hmm. I wanted to take the class over. I wanted to teach the class from the time I was in kindergarten. I had a 4th grade ELA teacher who recognized it. And I was so lucky because what she did is she said, okay, Bridgette, come here. Because I used to finish all my work fast. And she did something that inspired me to be the writer I am today. And she said, all right, you keep finishing all your work like before everybody else. So, and she didn't want me to start writing on the walls. So she said, okay, come here. She goes, I want you to write alternative endings to everything that we read. I want, yes, right?
How cool is that?
Yes, right? Like today, we have directors who shoot alternative endings and post them on YouTube. So she was ahead of her time. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So what she did is she had me do that. And
See,
then
that's some Tom Proietti shit right there.
Yeah. I love him. So, and then she had me come in and entertain the class and perform. And yeah. And
Oh
so
my God.
my first audience, I was only like in 4th grade, and I would present my writing, my creative writing to my 4th grade classmates, and they were like, "What? Oh my gosh.
That's
Whoa.
better than the original."
Yeah, I used to get that. And and then only a couple of years later, I was introduced to poetry. I didn't know what that was. I had no clue. Now, mind you, we're the generation, we're the Cold War kids that grew up, right? So you couldn't, duck and cover, right? Head to the hallway, kids. So
Kiss your ass goodbye.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry.
You couldn't escape it. It didn't matter. It was perpetuated in film and music and the nightly news, everything. So, and mind you, I just learned what poetry was. And I'm going to say maybe, I'm going to guess 11 years old. And I was, I was watching, it didn't matter what you turned on and what you listened to. It was in, songs like Land of Confusion. It was in movies like Red Dawn. It was everywhere.
Oh, yeah, right.
So I sit down and my teacher gives us this assignment to write our first poem. And there's little Bridgette and I'm Bridgette and I'm sitting underneath the, an oak tree with a little pencil and a pad of paper. And I write my first couple of poems. And what are they but thematically perpetuating this fear of the post-apocalyptic world that we may wind up living in because of the Cold War that we were trying to survive through at that time. And
Absolutely.
that's okay. No. And my teacher just read them and was, she had me read them in front of the class, and then I wound up winning an award for them.
You need therapy.
I know, right. They were the first poems I ever wrote, and then they were submitted to a New York State ELA, English Language Arts, I don't know, some sort of a contest, and I wound up winning some sort of an award for them, and I still have them, and I have the book that they were published in. They were with all of this artwork and poetry, but to look back at them now, I mean, I remember my parents saying, I saw the commercial for The Day After, and I think, and my parents saying, you're not watching that, right?
Yeah.
And just the commercial alone, I think I remember writing the poetry after seeing the commercial. And that's what inspired me to write those poems. And
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
So a couple of things. I think I'm a few years older than you, but I didn't realize the effects of the Cold War on me.
Yeah.
I didn't even think there were any until I got older, and I was like, oh my God, I had dreams. I just thought I had anxiety. I had dreams every night as a kid of being evacuated.
Yes.
And having to get on a bus and the sirens going and I get separated from my parents. And I'm like, holy shit, that's what it was. Because every day you lived in fear.
You did.
And the other thing is poetry. I've never been a huge fan. I am Irish. I grew up on There Once Was a Man from Nantucket.
Right.
Those are the classics.
Go ahead, finish it.
No.
Why not?
He once took a dump in a bucket. No, that's not how it goes. I'm sorry.
I never heard that version.
No, I know. I just made it up.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
You're very quick on your feet with nasty things.
I know.
I don't write poetry anymore. I don't write it.
So, I won 7th grade. I won a poetry contest. Yeah. And I won a book. It was in my English class, and I won a paperback edition of The Outsiders.
Yeah.
Fine, uplifting literature there. But the poem I wrote, I still remember this day, was a complete ripoff of the song Eleanor Rigby.
No. Oh, no.
Beatles.
Oh, my goodness.
Dangerous!
But I mean, she didn't it was an homage.
Yeah,
I changed it enough that it wasn't. I just took
Smellinor Digby.
Fellinor Digby. She was a thief. No, so yeah, I've never been good at poetry. I've never.
That was one of my few attempts, and it's just, I don't know. I haven't written much poetry since then, but I dug out that booklet and I went, whoa. That's pretty deep for a child to write. Then I realized, wow, that's why today, when you talk about film genres, I really don't like watching apocalyptic themed films. I think it really bothers me.
Yeah,
I
me
don't.
too.
I won't watch them.
Yeah, no, me neither. I think that day after, what was it? Was I either in college or in high school? I don't remember.
I believe that was from what, 1981?
I think
the day after.
Okay,
something like
so that was
83, maybe.
I think so.
81 to 83 would be somewhere junior to senior year of high school. But anyway, so I was busy like listening to Devo.
1983.
Yeah,
on the turntable and the 8-track.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, so then tell me about how your professional gigs and the award winning screenwriting.
Oh yes, definitely. So flash forward, I began writing creatively. I published a few short stories that focus on young adult literature and women's literature, and then flash forward. I have written and published in various genres over the years, and then I'm going to say it was about summer of 2017. I was off in the summer, and I was teaching just one lit course, and it just dawned on me. I thought, gosh, I've studied film and film history, but this was one area that I had not taken on, and I thought there's no excuse for it. And I love to write; it's my greatest passion. If I couldn't write, I don't know what I'd do. So I decided that particular summer to sit down and really start to outline and craft and write my first screenplay. And
cool.
I did. Thank you. I spent I'd say most of the summer writing it and outlining it. And it was a drama. And at the time, I really didn't know what genre I guess was really for me. So I started experimenting with a lot of different genres, and I tried everything from sci-fi to comedy and everything imaginable. And I have now narrowed it down to drama and comedy. I love drama and comedy.
Oh, good, yeah.
So, but this first one, I wrote it and then I sent it out through a portal, which I forget now doesn't exist. I now use Film Freeway, and I send everything out through that.
And what does that do?
So
it's for festival submissions.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was Without a Box the first one that you used?
That's the one. Yes, thank you. I couldn't.
Well
I knew you'd be helpful today.
Thank you. I couldn't remember, and it was great because once I finished it, I remember I looked at it and edited, and I sent it out, and then I kind of forgot about it, and I began teaching and the semester and the winter came, and then I began writing another one. I had gone to Fort Lauderdale that winter for a couple of weeks, and I started writing a comedy. And that one is one that's been winning a lot of awards right now.
And what is that?
That one is called Meeting Duran Duran. Yeah.
I remember you talking about this online.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
So this one, there's a really funny story to this. So August of 2018, oh my Lord, this is hilarious. So I had really, truly forgotten about the submission of my drama and this screenplay. And I remember going about my daily routine, and I get this email from the Burbank International Film Festival letting me know that I had congratulating me that I had made the finals, that I was a finalist, and inviting me.
How cool!
I was like, I guess my heart stopped. I was really so excited. I was
Rightly so.
Oh my Lord. They invited me to Hollywood for a launch party, and
when was this again? I'm sorry, what was the date? Or year, whatever.
Summer of 2018.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Now this is hilarious. And then they let me know the date of the awards ceremony and when the festival was and all the particulars. So I remember sitting there grabbing the edge of the table in the kitchen, and I didn't know what to do first. I was so excited. I'm like, Hollywood is calling. Oh my God. Do you know the first thing I did? I was panicking, and I didn't post anything on Facebook right away. I actually ran to Wegmans, and I thought, because I run into everybody at Wegmans. Everybody I know at Wegmans is always there.
See, Wegmans was the original Facebook.
That's right. That's right. Every time I go, it takes me hours to leave because everyone is there that I know.
Oh, absolutely.
So I ran over to Wegmans.
Wait, which one?
I either go to Pittsford but this time I went to Calkins Road because I know so many people that go there. And
I don't know anybody there.
And I sat there. I literally was imitating my late grandmother by smathering on a layer of lipstick, and
oh my God.
And
that was my mother.
Right. And I was in the parking lot going like this, coiffing my hair and going, okay, I'm ready to go into Wegmans.
Mr. DeMille.
I'm ready.
For my clothes.
I'm ready. And I was like, I have to be around people. I was just so excited. And I ran into Wegmans, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, where are my people?
Where's Danny? Get Danny over here.
I'll even take Colleen.
Got some news for Danny.
Where's the red sports car?
Yeah, really.
So I ran into Wegmans, and I went and got some, a sandwich and
as one does when they're invited to a screenplay.
I was going to say that exact thing, as one does.
I was so excited, and I did, and I ran into a whole bunch of people. I'm like, oh my gosh, guess what? Oh, Hollywood is calling.
Cute.
And it was just like one conversation after another, and
and you're like, here, just everybody come here so I can tell you all at once.
And I'll have a meatball sub, by the way.
Let me know when it's done.
I was dying, and all these people were just like, hey, come here. She's going to Hollywood.
It was American Idol.
And it was right in the food court at Wegmans. And I was just like, oh my God, you can't believe it. It was just the cutest thing right in the middle of Wegmans.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
I had to I don't know. It was, I remember going to Wegmans with my grandmother and my mother when I was little in Brockport. And that was just such a treat because they would, get groceries, but gossip and talk and guess what? So I do the same thing.
I would have been like, I would go to Wegmans and I'd be like, hey, guess what? And I'd be like, get away from me, you freak.
I know. Look, I'm really busy. I'm on my way to an appointment.
I don't care who's calling you. I'm calling the cops if you don't get out of here. I'm trying to buy milk. What's wrong with you?
I so miss doing this right now because I love going to the grocery store and just socializing.
Oh, I know. Seriously.
You're the one.
I am.
You're the one that walks up and goes, did you ever try those? Do you like those?
It's like that Progressive commercial.
I swear. So
we all see it.
So I finally left Wegmans and I went home and posted it on Facebook with my fingers I was just nervous, and I typed it on Facebook and everybody was like, oh my God. So, and then I flew out to Burbank. And,
beautiful downtown Burbank.
I had never been. I had never been to Burbank, and I was so nervous. I didn't know what to expect when I got there. I was so scared. But before I went there, I had gone to the mall, and I didn't know when I went into the store at Eastview Mall. Didn't one of my students work there? And I said, hey, I'm going to Hollywood. Can you help me pick out something really flashy and snazzy? And he did. And so
That's so cute.
Picked out an awesome outfit with him. And so I couldn't stay. I had to, it was for the launch party. And so I literally was going to go to the party. And this is so funny. I was going to go to the party in Hollywood and then fly back all within 24 hours. And I couldn't stay because I had classes. It was the first week of the semester. And I had to get back. So all I had with me was a shoulder bag and my heels and my dress in the bag. So that's it, and my makeup. So I flew in and I asked the lady, I knew nothing about Burbank, nothing. So I asked the lady sitting next to me, is it safe to take an Uber? And she's like, it's Burbank, darling.
Yeah, that means nothing to me.
I'm like,
it's not Compton. Burbank.
I was like, I don't know.
Snoop on every corner.
I don't know where I'm going, right? So
ask the Superman on the corner. He'll tell you.
Wow, you were just asking to be taken advantage of and robbed and fleeced. And
here's a woman in a nice red dress walking with her heels in her hand and a little tiny purse saying, excuse me, where's Hollywood?
Lady, you want to audition for a role? Come over to my hotel room.
Oh, my God. I was like, God, please protect me. I was so scared. I thought, I just need to go and just go for it. So I landed at the airport. I had no hotel reservations.
Goodness.
Yeah.
You were just there and you did the party and then got back on a plane and left? Came back to New York?
I landed and I literally went to the ladies' room and I changed into my snazzy dress and heels and I took
in the airport?
I did. I did. I changed in the airport.
Who hasn't, right?
Right. Yeah.
Well, they don't have phone booths anymore, so you had to use the bathroom.
I did. And then I took an Uber, and I kid you not, the Uber driver was the nicest guy.
Was who?
It was Michael Douglas.
No.
He was the Uber driver. It was the most insane story ever.
No, he was so cool. And I found out
it was Jeff Bridges.
The party was only like 5 minutes from the airport, and I became really good friends with the Uber driver. And
I don't believe it for a second.
We're Facebook friends. I know. And he was so nice. And then the party, I kid you not, I was so...
You do know they get tips. No,
I know. He was, I know, I wound up, I went to the party, I walked in, and I was just, before I walked in, I thought, oh my gosh, I just knew this was the beginning of a whole new world for me.
Great.
And I was so nervous. Exactly.
Thanks, Ariel.
And I was really nervous, and I just said, okay. I remember my mom, she always said, walk in like you've always been there.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I did. And I looked like I, had just stepped outside for a second. Yeah. I walked in, walked right onto the red carpet, and and this lady was there.
And you tripped. No,
I know. They took my picture, and this lady's like, oh, where are you from? I said, New York. She thought New York City, of course. And
Chelsea?
I know.
The Village?
And they took my picture, and she introduced me to everybody, and it was such a wonderful, wonderful event. And then about a week, I think it was a week later, I returned for the big awards ceremony. Now, that was I would say one of the best film festivals I've ever been to at the Burbank International Film Festival. There were celebrities, everywhere.
Oh, cool.
It was a black tie event. It was dinner. It was, Gary Marshall's family was there giving a Lifetime Achievement Award to...
Had he already passed?
Just passed, yeah.
Him.
Yeah, to Joe Mantegna from Criminal Minds was there. He was receiving the award. You had, a lot of celebrities and directors and people there. And nice dinner and everything, the red carpet, a lot of media. And I was interviewed by the media. And then they had several categories. And then, I remember reading, I had this feeling that it's hard to describe, but I remember I had what they call imposter syndrome. And I was sitting there going,
I still got that going on.
What am I doing here? How did I get here?
Yeah.
And I remember reading an interview that, Gordy Hoffman and Philip Seymour Hoffman gave many years ago, about how they had experienced that at the very first film festival, they both attended together. And then when they looked around the room and they were like, you know,
I can't.
whoa.
I can't see anybody not feeling that way the first time you get into.
I felt like that.
So
Ooh.
did they give away the award? Did they announce the award at this thing?
They sure did. Yeah. So I'm seated at this round table with a lot of very talented people, and then they got to my award, to my category, I should say, Best Original Screenplay. And I was competing with a lot of 16 men and 4 women. There were 20 people that made the finals.
Wow.
Like Shia LaBeouf. I was competing with Shia LaBeouf.
No way.
Yeah. And then
Well, he's a little kooky now.
No comment.
He's got issues.
So, and they
Hope
called.
you get help, Shia.
They called my name, and I remember I jumped up. I was crying. And I remember saying to myself, "Get it together, woman." Go. And I'm like, go.
Like, I would have done some Price is Right shit.
Yes. I'm like, you better hurry, get up there. They played some music. I got up there and I gave a speech, and they asked us to prepare something in case.
Right.
And so I got up there and wow. And I looked around. I'm like, oh my goodness, don't look.
Did you take a picture?
Yeah.
You're up there.
I do have video of it. And yeah. And I
Oh, fun.
It was something.
So like, has anything come of that? Like, how does that do then to somebody? They want to buy the script? What is it? Or if they, how's that work, Fitz?
Let's let her.
No, I know. I just wanted you to throw in a word if I was saying
option. Is that the word you're looking
that's
for? Option.
what I had that word in my head, but I wasn't sure if I was using it correctly. Okay.
Sure. So since then, what I've done is I've continued to send that script out to a few other film festivals. I think it's won again, and it's been nominated several times. And so basically, I could pitch it. I'm at the point now that I wanted it to be read and have the opportunity to, I guess, accumulate more attention before I pitch it. And then, so now I have the opportunity to say, look, it's acquired this much attention or awards. And so now I'm at the point where I could actually pitch it to have it optioned. And the other thing, too, is that I wanted to wait until I've acquired, I would say, I'm at the point now where I have earned multiple awards and nominations to actually seek a good representation, because I didn't want to just earn one award and then say, "Hey, I'm ready." I wasn't ready in the beginning.
I know a guy. No, I don't.
Because I guess I've taken the last few years to continue to write, continue to submit to a lot of film festivals. But now that I've earned 3 awards and 12 nominations, and I didn't want to start.
Congratulations!
Thank you. I didn't want to start right in the beginning and say, "Hey, okay,"
right. You wanted to get some legs, as they say.
Yeah, because my screenplays aren't going anywhere. I mean, I still have them, and they're great, and they're ready to be.
And it's not like they're going to get any more dated.
No.
I mean, they're set in the past.
Well,
so.
yeah. If you watch...
I didn't mean dated as a bad thing. Like, you would say the carpet, or, the
Just
shag
stop.
carpet.
Just stop.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
What were you going to say?
I said just stop. Just stop right there.
Well,
I'm just kidding, Madge.
No. Do you think I take anything you say seriously?
Hell no.
Well, like, you look at the Queen's Gambit, and they spent 30 years pitching that project.
That's right. I've seen that story.
Yeah. So a couple of the screenplays that I have that have won a lot of awards or nominations, they're only a couple years old, and I wanted to work on myself and get myself to the point where now a lot of people know me, they know my talent, they know that I'm ready to be pitched as an award-winning screenwriter.
Think of this as just one in a series of debutante balls. It's coming on Madge Unmuted to reaching all the tens of people.
Right, exactly.
You and I don't count, so there's There's 8 people.
Oh,
No, but this is really important for Rochester. What Bridgette is doing.
Yeah.
Because it, like, we created we made our first feature film, and Steve and I are not spring chickens. He's over 50.
Sure.
I'm on my way to 50.
Oh.
And we're trying to get, to show that there's some real talent in this town.
Yeah.
And there is. I mean, we've got Madge. We've got a lot of, but it's true. But it's true. We do. We have a lot of very talented people in Rochester and in Western New York in general, but mostly Rochester.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. There's a lot of talented. I think. I've met so many talented people here who they could easily go off to LA but I don't think there's a reason to do that necessarily, because I think if we work together, I think with the way technology is today, my gosh, with the internet, and there's so many capabilities of producing solid work here, and then saying, hey, come and purchase it. Come and let's stream it we could stream it from here.
Isn't there maybe pre-COVID or whatever, weren't there a couple film festivals here?
Yeah, we have a few film festivals.
Yeah, I think so.
Good ones too.
Yeah.
Rochester, what is it? The Rochester International Film Festival, and then there's the High Falls Film Festival.
Yeah.
There's the Image Out Film Festival, the One Take Film Festival, the Fast Forward Film Festival.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well,
a couple of new ones just popped up over the last year or so.
We used to be the world's film
sort of birthplace of film. We should have some sort of thing going on.
Well, that's important. Yeah, that's with Kodak. As an educator, I could tell you, Eastman Kodak. They were George Eastman was the one who created and invented the whole instructional technological concept of videos that were educational, but they featured. This is something that I'm very interested in. They featured men who were leaders in multiple industries that were, and these were educational videos, and Rochester housed them. But
cool.
There's a gap. So something that I am really good at doing is it's kind of funny. Like if somebody gives me a remote control and I'm sitting there looking at Netflix or looking at any streaming service, I can pick out the gaps of what is missing.
What do you mean?
So it'll take me forever to choose something to watch.
Oh, me too.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yep. It'll drive me crazy that I can't find something to watch. So, or as a professor, I know that educational material. There's a lot of educational material videos, instructional technological videos that feature male leaders in history, but that we don't have a lot that feature prominent female leaders. There's a lot of books on that. So you notice there isn't a movie about Susan B. Anthony. I asked a young lady the other day if she knew who Sally Ride was, the first astronaut in space. She had no idea who that was. There isn't.
We gotta get on. So you mean
there's nothing out there? There's
the
no
gaps in what content is missing that's not being covered and should be.
Yeah. I
hear you, sister.
There's a lot of important material that is so important, especially in the STEM field. That would
absolutely.
be that's missing. That's just not. It's just not. Nobody ever said let's go through and create that.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
There are books on it, but there's nothing visual.
Yeah. All right, it's time for me to pitch a story to Bridgette now.
There you go.
Susan B. Anthony, vampire killer. What do you think?
Oh,
I don't know.
What do you think? No? You think no?
I don't know.
Can
I guarantee you that could get made and it would do well.
Can I audition?
I'm not saying it would be good. For what? The vampire or Susan B. Anthony?
Whatever you got.
Don't know.
She is both,
you can play
isn't
the steak.
Wait, I just gave away the ending. She turns out to be both.
It turns out to be both. It was all a dream.
It was a dream.
And there was Suzanne Plachette and Bob Newhart in a bed at the end.
Oh my gosh.
not to switch subjects, but I will because I'm the host.
It's your show.
Yeah, and I do. But it just made me think, like I said, sometimes I play games, like if there's, but not that I needed to. Sometimes it's, I wing it. But and you've been so interesting, I didn't feel like I had to throw one in, but I had one question on here.
Yeah, sure.
It just made me think. This is a little game called Would You Rather.
Oh, okay.
And just this one is, would you rather listen to every record Celine Dion made in a continuous loop or watch an Adam Sandler movie marathon?
Oh, my gosh. There's no contest.
Oh, my goodness. That's hard. I'm a good sport, so probably Adam Sandler.
Okay, was it hard because you like them both or they both suck?
It's really hard to say.
I mean,
Adam Sandler.
Why did you...
I will say, yeah, Celine,
It's okay. They're not here. You're not going to offend them.
The only reason I would say is because I appreciate in Adam Sandler movies how he goes back often to those references of the memories we have as children in the 70s when we used to bare knuckle fight each other and
I don't know where you grew up.
When we used to beat each other with broken bottles. That was so fun.
I just burn each other with cigarettes.
I just love
back in the day.
I love those references that he in many of his films to when we're kids in the 70s and just I don't know. He does it in a lot of his movies.
Yeah, he does. He brings up the nostalgia factor. But,
I love that.
It's
real.
I equally hate them both.
Yeah, I think he's a little obnoxious.
But I probably would watch him because she just gets on my list. I've never been a ballad person anyway. So.
Yeah.
And obviously I've never been a singer.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a ballad person.
Let's
myself.
see. I can't some of his I like just for the quotes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I think the probably most quotable one I have or that I can deal with is Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
I like, I'm trying to think, 50 First Dates makes me laugh.
That's a good movie.
I don't know. That's Drew Barrymore gets on my last nerve.
Is that one actually a movie from him? Is it one of his movies or is it?
I don't know.
They Walk the Line. Yeah. And a lot of his movies were co-written by his his college roommate. What's his name?
Yeah, and a lot of his stuff, and I kind of like it. The idea of it. Not that some of his stuff ends up being like ensemble stuff. Yeah. Just because it's the same. Maybe that's not the right definition of the word.
Adam Sandler Players.
Right, exactly. It's the same group from.
It's like Broken Lizard. You know the people from Broken Lizard, the Super Troopers movies?
Oh, yeah.
It's the same group of people that make all those movies.
I was thinking more like Best in Show.
That's a different animal
waiting
completely.
For Guffman.
We just watched Best in Show the other day.
I love that
Great movie. Anyway.
All right. Anyway, so I just want to thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
Do you have any upcoming projects we can look forward to? Or?
Well, my screenplay, Meeting Duran Duran, that one has gotten a lot of attention. And that one is exciting. That one's more about the fanaticism. It's not really about the band, but it's all about the fanaticism of, what we all experienced in the 80s, going after some.
I have a Duran Duran story, but we'll wait till later. I'll tell it after the podcast.
Sure.
Tune in to the after show for Fitz's Duran Duran story.
How about we go over to the Pittsburgh Wegmans and I'll tell it there.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
I'll record it.
Oh my God. I am constantly working on something.
At Wegmans?
No, but I'm working and writing. I'm constantly writing. I have oh gosh, probably I have a TV pilot that I'm working on.
Damn,
yeah, I've got another feature-length script that would be probably something suitable for like a Hallmark film. And
we know a guy that has music for it, don't we? My friend Sean Patrick McGraw.
Yeah.
He's written several
nice
or what do you call them? Theme
soundtracks
music.
and
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, nice.
Scores.
Scores.
Score.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry.
Nice.
So well, good. Well, we
Thank
will keep cheering for you.
Thank you.
Keep in touch and let us know when you got something coming up.
Yes.
And maybe Fitz will do more work with you.
I hope so.
I'll do
Yes.
more work with you. We'll become the Fitz players.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Madge players.
No, I like Fitz.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll do the Madge Vox players. That sounds really strange. I don't think we'll use that one.
Never,
but anyway,
never again.
Bridgette, can we find you on social media?
Absolutely. Yes. I have a IMDb page and Facebook. I have a Facebook page and oh my goodness. Yeah. Every
Look
place.
for the name. Oh, you don't have it down there, but Bridgette
Oh, wait.
Yaxley.
Shall we?
We shall.
Shall we show?
Yes.
Here we go.
It's your
La,
show.
la, la, la.
There you go.
Da, 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 da.
Look for that name. Look for the union label with Bridgette
And then, of
Yaxley.
course,
And of course, we got Madge Madigan. You can find me on any social media you so choose, just under Madge Madigan or Madge Unmuted. I got a Patreon if you want to, cha-ching.
chip in.
Chip in. And then we got Rockfox Studios, who are here for all your recording needs. Please
Come by and do a podcast.
Exactly. Come by and do a podcast. Check out rockfox.com. Again, Bridgette Yaxley, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining me. And for everyone else, we'll see you next week on Madge Unmuted.
Thank you.